we are going to be very, very close to paying $1 trillion a year in interest on our debt. And we're listening to the Fed, who said in December, last month, they're talking about 4 interest rate hikes, not next one in March. Now they're backing off of that yesterday. Of course they are. And this is a Fed that, by the way, says we don't pay attention to markets. Oh, really? So the odds, I'm not going to even say the odds. I'm going to tell you there's no way on God's green earth that the Fed is going to raise interest rates 4 times this year. Not going to happen. So will they do it? I'll be surprised if they do it twice. Should they? Yes, they should. But I'd be surprised if they would do it. I think that when we start adding $1 trillion a year to our $19 trillion worth of debt, we are in big, big trouble. I'm going to talk a little bit about this tomorrow. And I've just done finished up some research on this morning, in light of the fact that the president is speaking, doing a State of the Union speech. And I'm thinking already about how I'm just going to debunk his State of the Union, and I'm going to give the real State of the Union. So I'm going to talk about that from a monetary standpoint. So I think that we are getting dangerously close to that. And at some point in time, if we don't get a president this time, by the way, I don't know who it might be because I've only heard one candidate speak about it. But if we don't get a president very soon that truly, not political rhetoric, but truly is interested in cutting the size of government and reducing. It's one thing to do things to generate more tax revenues. You cannot do that without also including the cut in the government. We need to reduce the size of government. If we don't do it soon, we are going to be bankrupt, and we're going to bankrupt this nation. The reason that politicians don't care about it is because they look at China, who's 300% debt to GDP, and their largest expense Japan, their largest expense is the interest they pay on debt. Not military, not social programs, but to pay the debt. China, over 400% debt to GDP ratios. And the politicians look at that and say, hey, they're doing just fine. It's really not something we got to worry about.